Hello and welcome to the third episode of You and Your Kids in a Digital Age. I know that there are a lot of things happening in this digital dispensation that parents need to be very much aware of and also be deliberate, especially in raising godly kids in this digital era in which we found ourselves. Today in this episode, I want to share with us some things from the scriptures that can help parents, especially in raising kids in this digital dispensation. Now, I'm going to be sharing from the scriptures a foundational truth that is expedient for every parent in the Lord. Now, Proverbs 22 verse 6 says that we should train up our children in the way of the Lord, so that when they are old, they will not depart from that ancient path. I love the way the New International Version, that is the NIV Bible, the way the NIV puts it. It says, start children off on the way they should go. They will not turn from it. So you see, the first part talked about starting them off in the way they should go. It's very, very important. Whatsoever you introduce them to, whatsoever you train them with very early, then it matters a lot. The implication those things will have in their life, even in years to come. And then we need to also know that the Bible talking about training up children, starting up children, not a young adult, not when they become teenagers, not when they become old, from childhood. There are so many things that God will be expecting parents to start doing very, very early. We live in a dispensation where there are a lot of parents that is actually their children that dictates for them. A lot of parents want to please their kids. Yet the Bible says that these children, because they don't know the way they should go, parents have the responsibility of showing them the path. Parents who know the way. And that also leads to the question, how many of our parents today know the way? Jesus is the way. For parents who don't know the way, who don't know Jesus, they don't have the means, they don't have the capacity to also lead their children to know the way. So, well, that is one challenge for parents. As a parent, do you know the way? Because it is the parent that knows the way that is also able to lead the children to the right path that they ought to follow. So we need to know in this dispensation, as a parent, there are things God would want you to begin to do very in life, in the life of your kids. If not so, they get to a point whereby with this digital and internet dispensation, there will be very little to what you can do when they get to a particular age. The only thing you may have to start doing is just to be having healthy conversation with them. But there are some basic things that as a parent you can do very early. You can take a stand as regards the things they are exposed to over the television, over the internet. You can decide at what age your children would have access to some of these digital devices. And you need to begin to do that very, very early. The failure to do that early, you get to a point whereby when your kids are now fully grown, you can no longer restrict the things that they do. And then at the end of the day, you discover that the fault is from your hand as a parent, simply because maybe you were so permissive. There are a lot of books that we read these days that talk about being permissive with our kids, making friends with them. Yes, it is not a bad thing, but at the very early stage of their life, parents must learn to take a strong stand. You must know that whatsoever you teach them very early in life, that is what will help them even as they continue to grow. So that is the biblical foundation I'm bringing your way today. As a parent, start your kids off. Start them off with godly values. Help them to know that there are values from the scriptures they must live by. When you begin to build this healthy foundation, it will help them as they continue to grow. It is on that foundation that they now grow to, that they will never ever depart from the truth that they were trained with. I pray that God is going to help every parent out there, that God will give us the wisdom in raising healthy kids in this digital dispensation. I'm going to come see you in the next episode, that is the fourth episode, and still share with you more truths that can help you as a parent raise godly kids in this digital dispensation. God bless you until I see you another time.